Already, you know it. Top everything, you know it. King already, you know it. My body soul got a king body. Body gon' shine, bling bling body. Calling all the shots, ring body.
Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for coming. In today's video, might as well stay on theme. You guys seem to be liking the story times, so I'm going to be making storytime videos more often because I have story times. Yeah, so why not? Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys, and I think I've mentioned it before on my channel when I spoke about the what's in my bag, and you would have noticed that I take to work with me a taser. I tell you the story behind why I started taking a taser to work. So in today's video, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to share the whole story with you guys. Whew. Okay, so this was a couple years ago. It was around summer. I was working one of my odd jobs that I did, and it was in retail. Okay, so I worked at a store that was on a boardwalk. If you're Jamaican or anybody else that watches my video and you don't know what a boardwalk is, it's literally like a pathway of boards, the sand, and then the ocean. And right after the boards is a group of like shops all lined off. So this is where most like tourists would come and they would go for their shopping, stuff like that. Like if you need like pizza or rides or stuff like that, that's where all the attractions are. So a lot of people hang out on the boardwalk, like high school kids would hang out on the boardwalk. It's by the beach. Everybody loves the boardwalk. So I was working on the boardwalk. So you have a lot of people, lots of different people. I loved working on the boardwalk because, like I said, I like people in passing. I like to deal with people in passing. I love to have good conversations with people. They usually ask, the conversations usually start off with like, where are you from? Because they will hear my accent and then they would be like, where are you from? And then they would be like, oh, so this, that. And that's how the conversations would usually start off. So I would normally have like good conversations with people, and I just really liked working on the boardwalk. And the fact that you could see the ocean while you're at work for the whole day, that your view is literally the ocean. So I really loved working at the boardwalk. Okay, so I'm there working for the summer, enjoying my time, enjoying the people. Like I said, this one guy, let's call him, I'm going to start naming the people now. Let's call him Jeff. So Jeff is like around maybe like even 70 years old, I would say. Maybe 70, 65, retired. Just say retired, old white man. Okay, so yeah, so he's 65 or around there, like retired white man, and I'm there. So one day he came into the store. And he started asking me questions. I was working the floor and my coworker was working the register. So I was on the floor helping people and all of that. So he came up to me and he started asking me about shoes. So I started answering him about the shoes and like telling him about the shoes and which one would be the more comfortable one to wear. Regular customer questions, answering his questions, all of that. He heard my accent, so he asked me where I was from. So I told him I'm from Jamaica. So he started asking me like, oh, okay, nice. So you know, such and such, the regular Bob Marley questions and all of that. So I'm answering. Tell me why Jeff now decides to ask me, oh, so you guys have a lot of tourists and I hear that the white women down there like the black men for their thing. Really? Remember, I'm at work, you know, I'm at work. So, and there are other customers in the store. So he's like, yeah, that's what I heard. And I heard once they go there, they don't come back. So basically he said the thing where once you go black, you never come back. You never come back or whatever, you never go back. So I'm like, oh, whenever I am uncomfortable, I do a nervous laugh and I start to giggle. Like I have this awkward giggle laugh that I do whenever I'm uncomfortable or whenever I'm nervous around somebody. Not really nervous, uncomfortable. People don't really make me nervous, people make me uncomfortable. So I started like, I think I heard that before. I guess, I don't know. So I'm trying to be like nice to this man because I'm still trying to get my sale. Like I want my sale, so I'm not trying to be like, sir, shut up and move. Like I'm not trying to like dismiss him and tell him to excuse. I'm still trying to get the sale, so I'm still trying to be nice to him. So he's asking me that and whatever, and he asks me and he keeps asking me, and yeah man, that's what I heard, and the men down there, they have some big stuff and whatever, and I'm like, sir, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm not saying like shut up, whatever. I'm still just like, oh well, I wouldn't know, I don't know what their deal is, I guess they just like them, I don't know what it is, whatever. So I'm still doing all of that, whatever. So now he's like asking me, no, so what about you? So I'm just like, no, I don't think we should be having this conversation. I started saying stuff like that, no, like moving it along, like I don't think we should be having this conversation. So my coworker saw that I was in distress and I needed help. So she called me. She was at the register and she was like, Tashana, I need your help. And I left him and went to the register. There. Other people end up needing my help out on the floor, so I have to go back out there. Tell me, why is Jeff sitting at the front of the store not moving, waiting for me to come back? Tell me, why is he sitting there waiting for me to come back? So I started helping the other people and he came back in and he started asking me more questions, same inappropriate questions, like inappropriate. I don't remember exactly what he was asking me about, just very, very inappropriate stuff he was asking me. And I was just like, yeah. And I was trying to move away from him or whatever. So now he was like, you must be tired of long day. He said like, you must be tired, it's a long day and whatever. It's a lot of people, you guys are busy today. What time do you get done? And I'm like, oh, I get done at 5. I'm almost done my shift, blah, blah. So I think that even came before. I think because I don't feel like I would still answer him after or whatever. So anyways, at the end of the conversation with him, he was like, I'm going to go up there and take a walk and I'm going to come back down here when you get done at 5. And I'm like, don't come back. This is when I said to him, no, don't come back. Don't come back when I'm. And he was like, yeah, I'm coming back. I'm just coming back at 5. And I'm like, if you come back, that's literally like you're being pushy now. So I don't want you to come back. So he's like, no, I'm going to come back. So anyways, there's a back door. Whenever you're leaving, you can take the back door. You can walk through the front to go to the boardwalk. So I took the back door. I made sure I took the back door and I made sure I hurry up whenever I was leaving to make him not see that I was leaving, and I left. Okay, thought everything was good and dandy. That was just a weird day at work and everything is going to be fine tomorrow. There's not going to be any more of Jeff. That was just a weird tourist guy that come from somewhere and he just wanted somebody to talk to and he just wanted to blow off some steam and he just started having inappropriate conversations with me. The next day I go to work and there's Jeff sitting on the boardwalk staring into the work, into my job. Like staring, looking at me, looking at the job, like mapping out the whole place, the whole situation. So I'm uncomfortable, but it's just like, okay, I can't do anything about it. Maybe that's his favorite seats. Because there, if you know the boardwalk, there's a series of benches along the boardwalk. So I'm just like, okay, maybe that's his favorite bench to sit on. Okay. So he comes over and he says his normal whatever he says. I don't remember what the conversations were or whatever, but he comes over, start talking, doing his thing, blah blah blah, and then he would leave. And I think he would come and act like he's looking at the shoes again, and then he would just leave. And then he would come back and sit on the boardwalk at the bench directly in front of my job and stare into my job. I'm just looking. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. So this happened for days and days and days. He just came and sat there and looked. Every time I would look outside, that's him sitting down, staring into the job. And I'm just like, okay, he's not saying anything to me. Maybe that's really his favorite bench. He would just sit there and stare. And then I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm thinking in my mind, if he ever touches me, I'm going to knock him off. Like if he ever tries any, I'm just going to lose it. So, but then again, it's just like you never know. Like if he catches you off guard, throws something over your head, like what can happen? All right, so now I'm there, leave him alone. He's there every day, just staring into the job, doing what he's doing. Okay, so what I forgot to tell you guys is that one day, I don't remember which one of the days this happened, when he was saying what he was saying to me, and I was like, don't come back. If you come back, that's stalking. Don't come back. I'm not going to meet you after work, whatever, don't come back, whatever. He left and went to my coworker who was working the register. I was like, do you want me? Because she clearly doesn't want me and I don't know what's wrong with her, blah, blah. So my coworker is like, she's 16 years old, by the way. She was 16 years old at the time. And she was just like, no, thank you. I have a boyfriend. And then he walked out like mad. He walked out. I was just like, so none of you want me? So he walked out mad and whatever. So one day now, I didn't go to work that day. I think it was like one day over the weekend, and my other coworkers were at work. So he went up to them and was like, where is the black girl? I think the conversation, he asked, where's the black girl? And they were like, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Tashana? And he was like, yes, I'm talking about Tashana. Where is she? And they were like, do you know her? And he was like, I don't know her, but I want to get to know her. She doesn't want to get to know me, but I want to get to know her. So in the night, we were actually going to a club kind of situation. When I got there, the girls were like, Tashana, listen, this creepy man came looking for you today. And I think it's serious. And he's a stalker. And you need to take this seriously. And I was like, who are you talking about? Is he old? Like, is he super old and white? And they were like, yes. And they were like, you know him? And I was like, yeah, he sits at the door every day staring into the shop. And they were like, no, you need to take it seriously. He came in today asking for the black girl. And he was like, I don't know her, but I want to get to know her, whatever. So they were like, you need to take it seriously. These situations, I wouldn't normally go to the police. I wouldn't normally go to the police. I would normally probably tell somebody. I don't know what I would do, but the Jamaican in me wasn't thinking like, oh, go to the police. I wasn't thinking that. So when I went to work, I started taking it seriously because they looked very terrified. They looked terrified. They looked terrified. So, and they were like, he is really creepy. To me, I don't really trust anybody, and everybody kind of creepy to me. Like most people, I don't know. And even when he was talking, he always wants to come like super close to me. And I don't know what it is with men. Like most of them, the creepy ones, they always try to come like super close to me. Like their face needs to be like right here when they're talking. And I don't know why people do that. So most men come off very, very creepy to me. So I wasn't really taking it as seriously. Next time I went to work, it was a Monday. If it's out on the boardwalk early in the morning, sitting, waiting for the store to open, sitting on the same bench, looking in to the store, sitting down, waiting. Why? Again. So this time I was working with my supervisor, And she had heard about it, and I guess they were like, yo, this is very serious, whatever, whatever. So she was like, oh, no, this is not going to fly with me. We're calling the police. So she called the police, and at first I was just like, why we need to call the police? I don't really like getting the police involved in stuff, and why are we getting involved and whatever. And she was like, no, you don't understand. I didn't live there. I only used to work for the summer. So she was like, you don't get it. Like, you don't get it, and this is serious. So she called the police, and the police came, and he was still sitting on the bench. Nobody said anything to him. Nobody said, oh, give him a heads up, like, we're going to call the police. So he was still sitting on the bench when the police came. So they came into the store, and they asked me, like, what's the situation? What's going on? How long has this been happening for, and whatever. So I told them, like, it's been going on for a couple weeks. He just sits there, stares, and he just, sometimes he comes in, sometimes he says something, sometimes he goes to my coworkers, asks if I'm there, whatever. So they were like, write your name, whatever. So take a full report. I felt like very weird. I don't really like doing stuff like that, but I had to do it because she didn't call them, and he's sitting there just looking like a creep. And so when the police went outside to go talk to him and ask him, like, why is he sitting there, and why does he keep doing that, and what's his whole situation, he told them that he lives, so I work on 11th Street, and he lives all the way at 34th Street or something like that. And he comes down, he walks down every day just to sit on 11th Street to stare at me. Yeah. And they were like, I think they asked him, like, did she give you any inkling that she wants you or something like that? And they were like, he was like, no, but it's just like he wants to get to know me, whatever. And then they were like, but you can't get to know somebody that don't want to get to know you, and you can't do that, and that's very weird and whatever. And they talked to him, gave him a warning, told him that he shouldn't be in front of the store or come anywhere near the store. I think they gave him like certain distances or whatever he can come, or just they gave him a warning and said it would be like, what if he does it the next time, what would happen, whatever. They came back over, told us what they said to him and whatever. It's after that now is when I start getting like panicky. I'm just like, and I start feeling like, what if now is when he's angered because somebody called the police. So then now I started getting scared, and I was literally afraid to leave work. I was just terrified, and I was working 2 jobs at the time, and other manager, she was asking me, like, I think the day when it happened, I was just like very like, I was just moving weird. I was very shaken up, like, just, I don't know what it was. I feel like I was just more so scared because now it's just like, now we call the police on him, and now he probably is going to retaliate. You know, like when somebody have them intention but you don't really do anything to them, and they just mellow, and then you do something to them and then they get like 10 times worse. Then I started feeling like that's what he's going to start doing now, and he's probably going to do something and really attack now or something. So I was shaken up, and when I went to work, my manager was like, what's going on? Because it's my second job, like in the evening now. And she was like, what's going on? I was like, oh yeah, this guy and his old white guy just like creepy and doing stuff and whatever. And she ordered me a taser right away. She was like, don't take it lightly. I'm the only person that was taking it lightly. She was like, do not take it lightly. You don't understand. She was like, she bought me a taser right away, and don't take it lightly, and make sure you take this with you every single day, and just have it ready or whatever. But it is, I have that with me now, because I used to feel like it's such a nice area, like I'm safe, I don't have anything to worry about, you know, stuff like that. Once you move out of wherever you lived and come to like an area you don't really know the place, I feel like you're blissful and you're like unaware. It's like, what's it called? Ignorance is bliss. So that's what I was experiencing. I felt very safe and whatever, false sense of safety. And even a police friend of mine was like, you don't understand, like a lot of things go on here and it might look safe and whatever, but it's very dangerous and you need to protect yourself and be careful on the road and whatever. And so that's the story time about my stalker that caused me to start taking a taser to work. And yeah, if you guys like the story time, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.